Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most dangerous movie missions.
Come on, baby.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most dangerous and treacherous missions shown on film. Since we'll be discussing big plot details, here's your spoiler alert. Which of these missions would you rather not be assigned to? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. Saving the Earth. Tenet. Christopher Nolan specializes in difficult, mind-bending movie missions. Just look at the multiple dream levels of Inception, or the epic search for a habitable planet in Interstellar.
Doyle, back to the Ranger now.
We're not leaving without her data.
But we'd argue that when it comes to the most dangerous missions, Tenet takes the cake. Tasked with stopping a Russian oligarch from reversing the Earth's entropy, the protagonist faces unique hazards. For starters, he has to fight foes who have had their own entropy inverted and are moving backwards through time, including his future self. He then has to survive inversion himself. The final battle involves a complex temporal pincer movement against a fortified position with the fate of the planet on the line. Number 9. Exposing a double agent. Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. A Cold War thriller, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy is adapted from the John le Carré novel of the same name. Gary Oldman stars as George Smiley, a British spy who is asked to come out of retirement to find a Russian mole working inside British intelligence.
Report by Soviet High Command on their recent naval exercises in the Black Sea. Just what the Admiralty has been begging us for some information on.
It's a movie that perfectly conveys the anxiety of the Cold War. Unlike the other entries in this list, the mission that Smiley is tasked with isn't fraught with obvious physical danger.
I've done a lot of things in my life, Mr. Smiley, but I can't stop thinking about her.
However, it's no less dangerous owing to the cat and mouse game that Smiley is playing with a double agent inside his own inner circle.
I had to pick a side, George. It was an aesthetic choice as much as a moral one. The West has become so very ugly. Don't you think?
Number 8. Stopping the Apostles. Mission Impossible Fallout. Ethan Hunt has certainly endured his fair share of risky missions. In the first Mission Impossible, he had to clear his name while on the run from his own agency. He also survived, dying in the third installment. He was resuscitated. However, Fallout sees him on arguably his most dangerous mission ever. He and his crew have to stop an organization called the Apostles, who plan to use nukes to sow global chaos. A Halo jump gone wrong is actually one of the smaller obstacles. Hunt also has to face off against Henry Cavill's August Walker, aka John Lark. This leads to a helicopter chase and crash, and it culminates in an epic cliffside fistfight. Number 7. Preventing Nuclear Disaster. The Man from U.n.c.l.e. In this period spy thriller, Henry Cavill is on the side preventing nuclear devastation. He plays Napoleon Solo, a CIA agent who reluctantly teams up with KGB operative Ilya Kuryakin to stop nukes falling into the hands of Nazi sympathizers.
We'll leave you two to get acquainted.
Working alongside the KGB and maintaining undercover secrecy proves both tense and dangerous. Solo is really put through the ringer, including being tormented in an electric chair. He later has to infiltrate the Nazi sympathizers' fortress.
So sorry I can't stay to finish you off myself. Rudy's never in a rush, but sadly I am. And I want it to be slow.
Throw in the intense car chases, and it's a miracle he survived. Number 6. Recovering the List. Atomic Blonde. Another period thriller, Atomic Blonde sees MI6 agent Lorraine Broughton attempting to recover a list that would expose the identities of secret agents in Berlin.
Everyone's hunting for it. The Yanks, the Frogs, Soviets, of course.
And our man, Percival.
Who's Percival?
David Percival. He's our #1 in Berlin.
Part of what makes the mission so dangerous is the number of KGB agents she has to face along the way, often in brutal, intimate fights. All the while, the MI6 Berlin station chief Percival is after her, convinced that she's a double agent. Turns out, he's right. Sort of. She's a triple agent, really working for the CIA. This means that the tightrope she was walking was even thinner than viewers initially thought. Number 5. Preventing people from going wild. Kingsman: The Secret Service. The scheme at the heart of this action spy comedy is truly horrifying. Samuel L. Jackson's Richmond Valentine has been handing out free SIM cards through which he plans to turn people into psychopathic, rage-filled monsters.
And utilize my communications network for free. Free calls, free internet for everyone. Forever.
Fortunately, the Kingsmen are around to stop him. The odds are stacked against them, however. This is made terrifyingly clear when Valentine activates the cards inside a hate church in Kentucky, while Kingsman Harry Hart is inside. To stop Valentine's plan, the secret agents try to destroy his satellites using high-altitude balloons. When that fails, they're forced to storm a secret mountain base with hundreds of armed guards. This is James Bond turned up to 11.
You did it!
Number 4. Defending M. Skyfall. In Skyfall, James Bond receives a different sort of mission. A cybercriminal named Raul Silva has put M firmly in his crosshairs.
Shut it down. What is this?
He aims to get revenge for her role in his mistreatment by a foreign government. It's up to Bond to personally protect M. To make matters worse, Bond isn't exactly at the top of his game. He's not getting younger, and he was wounded at the beginning of the movie. Bond's mission takes him to the London Underground, where he's almost squashed by an entire train.
I do hope that wasn't for me.
But that is.
Eventually, he takes M to his childhood home in Scotland. He's then forced to defend it using crude traps and his own creativity, Home Alone style. Number 3. Keeping nukes from radicals. True Lies. As with many movies in this list, the mission at the heart of True Lies is to stop a group of criminals from using nuclear weapons. Arnold Schwarzenegger plays Harry Tasker, a counterterrorism agent investigating a group known as the Crimson Jihad, whose leader threatens to destroy the United States with nukes. This leads to both Harry and his wife Jamie Lee Curtis's Helen Tasker being kidnapped and having to escape a terrorist camp. Harry then has to rescue Helen as she hurtles towards a deadly drop on Florida's 7 Mile Bridge.
Come on, baby.
yeah, and he has to save his daughter Dana from a Miami skyscraper. Naturally, Arnie does take out the bad guy in the end, but it wasn't easy.
You're fired.
Number 2. Finding out who he is. The Bourne Identity. When Matt Damon's Jason Bourne wakes up with amnesia, he sets out to learn his true identity. It turns out he's actually part of a CIA Black Ops program, and now the organization that made him is out to hide the evidence. In order to even survive, Bourne has to evade police and go up against a series of assassins, each deadlier than the last.
Los, hoch. Hey, aufstehen, hoch.
Fortunately, he has retained some handy skills, in spite of losing his memories. But going up against trained killers and a covert branch of the CIA is still far from a walk in the park. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Executing a dangerous exchange. Bridge of Spies. A lawyer is tasked with rescuing an Air Force pilot from the KGB. Infiltrating the Mob. The Departed. A police officer works as a mole inside the Irish Mafia.
What are you drinking?
A cranberry juice.
Halting a War. The Sum of All Fears. Jack Ryan must stop a neo-Nazi's plan to trigger a nuclear war.
What are you asking of me? Back down.
Saving the World. The Spy Who Loved Me. It's Bond up against yet another megalomaniac with nukes.
You shot your boat, Stromberg. Now it's my turn.
Protecting a Soviet defector. The Hunt for Red October. Jack Ryan must prove that the Red October is defecting from the USSR.
Well, sir, I was just thinking that perhaps there's another possibility we might consider. Ramius might be trying to defect.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Retrieving the Death Star plans. Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
Send the rebel fleet if you have to. You need to capture the Death Star plans if there's any hope of destroying it.
At the beginning of the original Star Wars, the Rebel Alliance had recently stolen the schematics for the Empire's Death Star. Released nearly 40 years after, Rogue One tells audiences how the Rebels got the plans. When the Alliance Council balks at Jyn Erso's daring plan, she goes rogue, leading her squad against the entire Imperial garrison on Scarif. Thankfully, the Alliance sends their fleet in to help, and Jyn is able to transmit the plans.
Transmitting. Admiral, receiving transmission from Scarif.
But the mission is so dangerous that Jyn and the others perish in the process. The mission proves just as deadly for the rebel soldiers who face off against Darth Vader to secure the plans.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.